G'day and welcome back to the channel. This is a video designed to cheer you all up. I know there's lots of people all over the world deathly worried about a particular strain of a certain virus, which I'm not going to mention because I'll get demonetized, and it means all the work I put into this video will be wasted. But suffice to say, there is a human pathogen that's causing a few problems around the world at the moment, and I know a lot of people are just, a bit concerned. And also, there's this whole thing with the remote ID in the USA and how it looks like it's going to be the end of the hobby. Well, I'm here to tell you that I was a bit pessimistic a week or so ago when the submissions closed, but I'm a lot more upbeat now because I've read some of the other submissions and some of the important ones. I read the submission from DJI. It's a beauty. It's really good. I recommend you go and have a look to it. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. Go and read it. It's 80-something pages long, but it really does put the case for the hobbyist, for the amateur modeler, the person who builds their own stuff. You know, the people who are going to be constrained to these little fields in the middle of nowhere, which will disappear over time. DJI comes out and goes into bat for us. Yay, thank you, DJI. I think a lot of people have painted the DJI as the evil party and all this. If it wasn't for the damn DJI drones, we wouldn't have this problem. Well, you're wrong. DJI drones, drones in themselves, it's like guns. Guns don't kill anybody. Guns don't do anything. It's people. People are the problem. So don't go blaming DJI because people misuse their products. DJI, it's fine. And they've come out batting. They've come out swinging for us. Yes, I'm all so happy about that. Now, the other group that's come out swinging for us is Google. Can you believe it? Google, they've put the wing division of Google put in a submission. They also make the case that the hobby must be protected. You know, there must be provisions made for people who are not flying commercially, who are building their own models for recreational purposes. So yes, that's two pretty big players who have come out swinging for us. And I think that's going to make a bit of a difference in the eyes of the FAA and the Homeland Security and all the other people that are involved in this regulatory mess. Because remember, it's not only the FAA. This thing went off to the other groups like the Department of Homeland Security and I don't know who else, CIA and FBI, alcohol, tobacco and firearms, your mother's sister, all those people, they all had a say on this before we even got to have a submission. So it's not just the FAA. I have a feeling the FAA would probably only be a minor part in all this. Of course, the lobbyists from the Commercial Drone Alliance, they were a big problem. And it has been mentioned that both, I think DJI and Google are both members of the Commercial Drone Alliance. So they need to do some work within that organization just to get them to pull back a bit, stop being so damn mean to us hobbyists. But I think things are changing, things will happen. I don't think anyone expected the number of submissions that the FAA got. I still don't think it's a big number in terms of the total drone flying and model flying community, but it's still better than nothing. So I'm a little bit upbeat now. I don't think we're going to see the end of the hobby tomorrow. It may take a while, but no, I think we're in a much better position than we were. If these big guys are going batting for us, then hey, thumbs up to them. But we still have to remember that these guys have commercial agendas and they will be looking out for number one first. We're second. So we'll see what happens. Maybe DJI was really keen to promote the hobby because they're selling a snot load of those digital FPV systems, and under the new regulations, if they get passed, well, you can only use them in a grassy field. No one wants to do that. Right, so looking to the human pathogen side of things, don't worry, more people are going to die from stress, I think, than from the actual condition itself. Yeah, people have died. That has to be acknowledged, but it's people always die. My position on this is I'm not going to change my lifestyle. I'm not going to hide away in a bunker. I'm not going to cover my face up with masks like the Lone Ranger. I'm just going to carry on life as normal. I'm a fatalist. I've already got enough medical problems. If I'm going to die from this thing, I'm going to die from it. If I'm not, I'm not. That's just the way the cards fall. When you get to my age, you've had a good life. You think any extra day is a bonus. So I'm not too worried at all. In fact, I'm quite excited and interested to see what happens once you shuffle your mortal coil. What happens next? Oh, so many possibilities. Chances are probably nothing. But hey, the door is open to all these limitless possibilities. It's an exciting time in your life when you die. Yeah, exactly. But what I want to say is this becomes the perfect time. Now, it's spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Yes, it's turning to autumn here. And so you guys, another optimistic thing to look, get your spirits up, another positive thing. It's going to be summer soon. You'll be able to go outdoors and fly and enjoy your hobby as never before. So hey, look on the bright side of everything. The worst is over, one would hope. And of course, we're going into autumn. Autumn's not a bad season. We can enjoy flying in autumn. Winter, I hate winter. Maybe I can escape to somewhere warm for the winter. I doubt it. But yeah, it also means from our point of view here in the Southern Hemisphere, this pathogen is going to be at its peak when we are actually in the peak of our seasons for communicable diseases, because we'll all be huddled together in little rooms sharing air, which is not a good thing in this situation. But hey ho, that's just the way it is. You guys will be able to get outdoors and stay away from people and fly. So yeah, not a problem. But there you go. So yeah, and the other thing is, even if this thing does get really snotty and bad, you can always sit at home and watch YouTube videos. I'll be making them still. I'll be still making, as long as I'm still kicking, I'll be making them so you can watch my videos. And if you're confined to your little room for fear of catching something horrible, just turn on your computer or turn on your phone, watch me and the other guys here having a good time, as we did last weekend. I'm sure you've all seen that video by now. Another wonderful weekend in paradise. So much fun, so much fun. I know a lot of you people would like to come and visit us. Maybe when this whole thing is over, you should do it. Come and visit us. Come and pay us a visit. Stay for a week. I don't know. A long time ago, I mooted having an international model park here in Tokoroa. I'm not sure. I'd love to do it, but I don't think the council has changed enough for that. I would actually love to go out and lease a piece of land, lease a few acres of land, set up a camping site, maybe set up a little container with some hot glue guns and bits and pieces, so people could come from around the world, get a camper van at the airport, drive out to this little field in the middle of nowhere, camp for a week, fly whatever they want. Don't bring anything. Everything's hanging on the wall. Just fly it. If you break it, fix it. No problems. I'd really like to do that, but I don't think it's going to happen because I'm too old and there's not enough money in the world anymore. So, hey, who cares? Now, the other thing that I've already mentioned is I'm going to be getting a new camera. I've been saving my pennies over many years. Remember, quite a few years ago, Sony gave me this camera. You can't see this camera, but if I had a mirror, I'd show you. Oops. Sony gave me this camera because I wanted the best that I could get. And they saw it as an opportunity to promote their product, which they did through the channel. In fact, I think, based on emails I've got back, there's probably somewhere between 40 and 50 sales they made as a result of my videos, and people emailed me saying, what are you using as a camera? And I've told them, and they've said, I bought one, I love it, it's fantastic. So Sony got their money back and much more, because that's only the ones I know of. I'm sure other people will have seen comments in the videos and said, oh, that's a good camera, I'll go and buy one. So they might probably sold a snot load of these cameras on the basis of the videos I produce. And my video productions are getting better. I think one of my favourite ones recently was those jet-powered helicopters. A lot of people didn't realise that they were actual models until the end of the video, because just a little bit of cinematic technique and a good camera and a little bit of good editing, there you get, it was brilliant. I loved it, it's fantastic. So, but it's time to upgrade. I need to go to 4K, not because I'm going to be posting 4K videos, or I may post a few, but mainly because, as I say, with my Parkinson's, it gives me an opportunity to do more post-stabilization and editing, because I'm getting a lot shakier. I took a lot of meds on Sunday because I knew I'd be flying. It was a great day. I didn't have any shakes, fantastic. But yesterday I was just a little pile of jello. So you pay for it. When you have a good day, you pay for it with this Parkinson's thing. I don't know. But anyway, so I know that those shaky days are going to get more and more, and I can't afford to use up my reserves too quickly, which is why I only have one day every now and then where I take enough meds to make me really good. But I want to get the 4K camera so I can edit up all the shaky footage. And even when I give the camera to someone else, most people, even though they don't have Parkinson's, are not as practiced as me. So if someone's filming me, usually the footage is a bit shaky, but that's understandable. They don't do it for a job, so you expect them to be not quite as proficient. But I can get all this footage, I can stabilize it up, post it as 1080p or 2K7 footage, and it'll look wonderful. So I saw the Panasonic CX-1500, which is on paper, it's a fantastic looking camera. It's expensive here in New Zealand. By the time you get a matching SD card, it's $3,500 roughly. A lot of money. I've been saving for this for years since I got that Sony. Now, I would have bought a Sony. I would have gone and got a Sony, but Sony just don't have anything that matches it. They just do not have anything in the prosumer camcorder line that comes close to this new Panasonic. So I know there's no point in upgrading to another Sony. They do have 4K camcorders, but they're only 30p, 25p or 30p. And if you want to get really good fluid motion and slow down for the super realistic shots, you've got to have 50 or 60 frames per second. They don't have that on the Sonys at an affordable price. So this Panasonic offers 50 or 60p at an almost affordable price. So I contacted Panasonic New Zealand, as I did when I got my last camera. I contacted Sony. They said, this is great. Here, have one. And, promote it to the world. And I did. And so I contacted Panasonic. And nothing happened. They're not interested. Obviously, they don't give a damn. They think this is such a good camera. They don't need anybody to shill it or to review it or whatever. They're probably going to sell as many as they can make. So, sucks to be you, Mr. Simpson of the XJet and RC Model Reviews channels. So, and the annoying thing is, I know a lot of these things look good on paper, but when you get them in your hand, they may not be very good. They may have a fault or a problem, or some inconsistency, something that doesn't work the way, and it becomes intolerable. So, really, if I'm going to spend $3,500, I want to make sure that what I'm buying is fit for purpose. But how do you do that? I mean, I said to the Panasonic, I would really love to review this camera for a start, and I really want to buy one, so if in the review process I decide there's no deal breakers, I will buy it. Not even a reply. So if they're not willing to reply to me before they make the sale, what the hell's going to happen after I've bought it? It's a risk. It's a real risk. I did have a Panasonic 400. It was a 3CCD camera back in the standard definition days. I loved it. It was a fantastic camera. And it was so reliable. It just never let me down. Just like the Sony. Sony has been super reliable. So hopefully I won't need the Panasonic support. But I'm still a bit worried that if I spend $3,500 and it turned out to be a crap camera, as one of the original HD camcorders Sony did, they made one and it looked really good on paper, but it had terrible colour. The sky was what they called Bondi blue, which was awful. It was a turquoise instead of a blue colour. It looked absolutely horrible. And I would have been so pissed off if I bought that camera because I could not have used that footage. It looked terrible. So I'm hoping they're not going to do the same thing. Now, there's no review. Well, there's only a few tiny reviews out there, but they're all sort of look at the camera, look at the buttons and the knobs and the dials, and it's all fantastic. So you can't really tell much from that. Also, YouTube tends to munch anything. You put any kind of really good footage in, it just crushes the hell out of it and makes it all pixelated and reduces the dynamic range. So you can't tell too much from YouTube footage. But yeah, so I'm disappointed in Panasonic. I really am. Maybe it's just Panasonic New Zealand. Maybe Panasonic USA or Japan or something will be a little more open to me using the product and trying to showcase it in a way that probably a few other people can. Because remember, there's not many people doing the kind of RC model filming that I do. And people seem to like it. One of the videos I did of the jet meeting just in February, it's had 220,000 views or something. That's all right. I mean, that's a lot of people looking at the camera. So we'll see what happens. Well, we'll see what happens. But I do need to upgrade because I'm running out of stabilization space on the 1080p footage. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, all these positive, exciting things coming up in the next few months. So you guys, don't get down, don't get upset, don't get too disappointed by all the looming restrictions, which may never happen, or may be completely watered down by the time they happen. Don't forget, it is soon be summer. You'll be out there enjoying the sunshine with your t-shirts and shorts. And by the way, I will have some swag eventually. One day I'll have some swag. Don't worry about it. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, on RC Model Reviews, I did a review. I basically, I just showed you the flight controller that I built for my cruise missile way back in 2002. It was a prototype, an early prototype. Just showed you the bits that I used and so forth. It was 20,000 views. People seem to have liked it. And some people said, well, what about the book that you were writing? Do you want to, where's your book? Because I wrote a book. I wrote a book on all my experiences doing this cruise missile and other things I've done in the past. Basically a little autobiography almost. And I like to think it's got some interesting bits in it, and dealing with the Secret Service and all sorts of things. Some of the revelations in it are quite eye-opening and hopefully a little bit humorous. So I wrote this book and I submitted it to Amazon for publication. It was rejected because they didn't want to be associated with this guy that built the cruise missile, I think. So it didn't get published. And I've been published before. I've had books published by Prentice Hall and IDG and quite a number of other publishers around the world. But this was a little bit too touchy to handle, I think, for Amazon. So I'm thinking I may re-release it. I may do it again. I may see if things have changed. The climate's a bit different now. The cruise missile project's a bit of history. It's not a current threat to the national security, so I may submit it again. So I'd like to hear from people. If you would like to read my book, let me know. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do a pre-release upload for my Patreon supporters. So those people that are supporting me on Patreon, I might let them get the first 5 chapters for free for all their wonderful support, which has made all the things that I do possible. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So anyway, to the comments, would you buy the book? If I wrote the book, would you buy it? How much would you pay for it? That's quite important. Hey, if I could sell 1 million copies at $5 each, I could buy some land and build my model park. Oh, damn, I should put that away. Yes, there's a thought, isn't it? So how many copies would you buy? 500,000? I don't know. Anyway, but just, Feedback's very important. Helps guide me in what I'm doing. And so, yeah, as I say, I really would like to build a model park still, but I need to fund it, and I'm not going to do the crowdfunding thing because that's just, because if it didn't happen, I'd rather do it by actually giving someone some value. So maybe I can publish the book and make it more attractive to the mass market, and who knows, maybe it'll generate enough money for me to build a model park in New Zealand. So when or if the worst happens in the USA, you can all come over and fly with me and have a jolly good time without fear of being locked up. What do you think? There you go. Hope I've made your day a bit lighter. It's made my day lighter. Enjoyed it. Cathartic experience talking about the fun things that are coming up. There you go. So, to the comments with you now. Have your say. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you don't like it, then I'm lost for words. Why would you not like it? It's wonderful. And if you're not a subscriber, I've noticed now YouTube puts the little badges on the comments. I can see who's a subscriber and who's not. There's a lot of people that seem to watch my videos regularly but don't subscribe. Why not? Why don't you subscribe? I'm so disappointed. Subscribe now. Subscription counts me nothing these days. They really do. It's the view counts on videos that count. The what is it called? The engagement time and what sort of rubbish. I don't chase the metrics. I don't chase the numbers. I just try and produce the best content I can with the resources I've got. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, that's too bad. Yep. So there you go. Some people just chase all the current affairs and they try and blow in the wind depending on which way public opinion goes. Nah, life's too short. I'm old and belligerent, so I'll just tell you what I think. There you go. Thank you for watching, folks. I think we've had enough of me. Bye for now.